Okay children, so in the previous video we discussed about the scope of the syllabus and question paper pattern. Now we quickly move on to the first chapter of your book, that is the Earth as a planet. Right now children, as I said, it's a time of crisis. I know most of you, in fact not even like almost all of you must not be having the books with you. So you must be worried as to how to study, how to follow the teachings that is being done online. Children, you have nothing to worry. We know that you people do not have the books at this point of time. That's completely okay, because I'm talking about geography. The first chapter that you're going to study is Earth as a planet. Children, you don't need the book for this, because this is a kind of revision chapter. This is everything that is being taught in this chapter is something that you have learned or at least heard in the previous classes, okay? And also along with this online session, I'll also be sending you the notes for this chapter. It'll be in points, simple points, so you can keep that with you. You need not write those points anywhere, that's not needed. You can just keep that as a reference, just to brush up the chapter, just to revise the chapter, just to know the outline of the chapter, okay? So don't worry, you don't need the book. You just need to pay attention and listen to me carefully, whatever I'm speaking here in the video, and just try to remember that, okay? So the chapter name, the Earth as a planet. Basically in this chapter we have 4 sections. So the first section we are going to talk about the solar system in general. Like we'll define what a galaxy is, the name of our galaxy, what exactly is the solar system, what are the 8 planets, and how do they move around the sun, and so on. So that is the first part of the chapter. Moving on to the next one, the second part of the chapter is we are going to talk about one particular planet, that is the living planet, which is your Earth. Yes, we're going to talk about Earth in the second section. What are the features of Earth? What are the special, what are the uniqueness of Earth as a planet? Why do we call it a living planet? Why do we call it a blue planet? And so on. So everything about Earth we are going to talk about. Thirdly, we'll also be discussing about the shape of the Earth, okay? So in that we'll also be discussing what exactly is the shape of the Earth. Then we'll be talking about the ancient sailors and astronauts and all, astronomers and all, what exactly they used to think about the shape of the Earth, and what was proved later on, and so on, okay? And the last part of the chapter we are going to talk about biosphere. So that is one thing, okay? So this is just the outline of the chapter. As I said, the first part of the chapter is about the solar system, okay? When you talk about the solar system, children, first of all in the book they are discussing about the origin of the universe, or how the universe evolved. So there are many theories and concepts when it comes to the origin of the universe. Amongst those many of the theories, there's one very prominent one. It is known as the Big Bang theory, okay? So Big Bang theory, I'll explain it to you what exactly it means. See, Big Bang theory simply means that millions of years ago the Earth was the universe was a singular unit. It was a very small unit, a very dense force, like we call it a super force, okay? It was one single unit. You need to remember that, because it was one single unit, so we also call it as a singularity, okay? It was a singularity, it was a super force, it was a very dense element, and it was a super force. Now what happened from the word Big Bang itself, children? Bang, when you know the meaning of bang, when we bang into each other, when you collide or something explodes, that is what you call bang, okay? So here also Big Bang, it means that the singularity, the universe as a single concept, millions of years ago it exploded, okay? Or there was a big bang that occurred in that singularity. As a result, that one single unit, that one singularity was broken down, it burst into the present state of universe. When I say the present state of universe, I mean it got the present shape. That is, the sun came into existence, the millions of stars came into existence, the galaxy was established, the planet was made, and so many other solar things came into existence. So remember, singularity, the universe was a single unit. There was a big bang, there was an explosion, and the single unit broke into many solar bodies and the universe came into the present shape. Okay, then there is a very general thing given here. They are defining a galaxy. So you already know the cluster of stars together is called a galaxy. And then another thing that you've already studied, what is the name of our galaxy? So it is the Milky Way galaxy, or if we call it by an Indian name, it is known as Akash Ganga. Okay, so again this Akash Ganga, there is a very good story behind it. Actually, this Akash Ganga, the Ganga is here referring to our river Ganga, and various other stories are related to this name. Anyway, just remember Milky Way galaxy or Akash Ganga. Okay, then we're going to define solar system. So children, in the book they have actually given a very basic definition for solar system. They're defining solar system in simple, the sun's family. Okay, the sun's family is called the solar system, or if you write it in detail, we write it the sun along with planets, satellites, asteroids, comets and meteors are called the solar system. So the definition of solar system. Another thing you need to know, the entire solar system is held in its own place by the sun's gravity. Okay, so this is about the solar system. So as I told you, there is nothing new in there. This is all something that you already know. Okay, it's kind of, you're revising the things. Next thing, the sun as a star. This is the topic. In this we are going to talk about some attributes, some features of the sun. The first thing, what is the diameter of the sun? The diameter of the sun is 13,92,000 kilometer. Secondly, when we compare it to Earth, it is 1.3 million times bigger than the Earth. So all these things you have to learn up. There is nothing much in this. You just have to learn the diameter. You have to learn the size of the Earth with regard to Earth. Third thing, it is located at an average distance of about 148 million kilometer from the sun. So here I would like to tell you something. That is why I've written this average in blue ink, because when we talk about the distance between the sun and the earth, children, it's not fixed. Throughout the year, this distance keeps on changing. It may increase, it may decrease. Why? Because you know that Earth or all the other planets are revolving around the sun in an elliptical orbit. It's not a perfectly circular orbit. If it was a perfectly circular orbit, obviously it would have been equidistant from the sun. But no, the orbit is elliptical in shape. Okay, so if you imagine an elliptical shape orbit, there will be a time in that orbit when the Earth comes closest to the sun. Okay, and during that time, this distance reduces to 146 million kilometer. Okay, and another part of the year, when it goes when it is revolving, it goes at a distance to 151 million kilometer. Okay, 151 when it is the farthest from the sun, 146 when it is nearest to the sun. So that is what I said, it keeps on changing. It's not fixed throughout the year. So when we talk about an average, we say it is at 148 million kilometer. So there is two terms associated with it. It's perihelion and aphelion. Now that's a new term for you, I know. We'll be discussing about those two things in the later chapters. So right now, just remember, this distance is not fixed. It keeps on changing because of the elliptical shape of the orbit. Okay, now so this was all about your solar system, definition and so on. Continuing with it, we are going to now talk about the planets. The 8 planets you already know. Earlier there were 9. Now the last one is known as a dwarf planet, that is your Pluto. So in the next session we will be talking, or we will be studying about the planets.